So on this project, I'm purely playing. I have a vision and I think I can do it, but we're going to test a few different things. I think that they're going to be super cute no matter how it turns out, but I think I need to put my hair up for this one because this one is going to be super, super intense. Okay. How does that look? Okay, good. Now, let me share my screen with you. In the Cameo mold, I put in some of the light modeling paste.
And then the regular modeling paste. I found regular modeling paste was easier to work with because it's thicker. It just glided better into the mold with more control.
I popped it out and it comes to be a real fine, thin, almost paper-like. And what I thought I would do is I can use these, glue them in here, and then make some brooches that really look like old brooches with the raised surface. So my test was the roses. I went ahead and filled in some of the cameos. There's 4 of them with the, 3 ladies. I think this one's a man. I don't know. But we're going to pull them out and we're going to see what they're going to look like. And we can see if we can put them on here. I have the different materials that I'm going to use to stick them on. We're just going to play. Now, I wasn't trying to get the intricate detail, but I absolutely could. Let me pop this girl out and let's see what she looks like. Oh, look at that. Oh, perfect. So she might just look perfect right on here. And then I could decorate the brooch around it. All right, so that's one idea. I love it. I really, really like the roses on this one, but I'm going to see if one of these cameos fits better. These would make classic brooches. All right, let's pop this girl out. Now, if there's any part of this that, that I don't want, I could just take some scissors and cut it. Like I don't need all that, but I could keep it because it'll fill more void. So I can put it down like this. Or I can put it on this one. And if I use some pouring medium, it'll fill in all of that. So that'll be cute. Okay, now here's for the bigger one. I don't know how this one's going to turn out. But let's take a peek. Oh, look at how beautiful she is. Of course, I'm just going to have to remove some of this extra stuff. And up here by her, the hair. Look how cute.
So the last ones were made with just some black resin, cast, and all in one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do 2 layers. So I'm going to take some clear resin, put in a few drops of the orange, give it a good stir. We're going to go ahead and pour them in. We're just going to put it on the center part, the circle part, because what I'm trying to do is emulate the orangish part of some of the old-time cameos. So we're just going to put this in here, trying to keep the orange resin just to the center of these brooches. After this dries, we're going to use a different color to fill in the rest of the brooch. Okay, the resin has dried, and you can see that it's changed color. It was bright orange, but since it was mixed with the white resin, it kind of made it more of a cloudy yellow or orange color, exactly the look that I'm going for. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust the mold here with a little bit of the metal pigment, just so when I pour the resin, it'll already have a gold, gold tint to the brooch, and then we'll pull it out and see if it's the look we like, because we can always paint over it if it's not gold enough. But I was thinking that maybe this will give it more of a vintage antique vibe. I don't know. Let's check it out. My plan is to mix both black and white resin because I want to test which one's going to look better behind the orange with the gold metal pigment. So I'm going to do 2 with the black resin, and then I'm going to cast 2 with the white resin. And then we're going to kind of see which look we like better. Remember what I said in the beginning, this is just play. I have a little bit of resin left over, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can pour it in this bow here. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can just do the outside of the frame. That would be really cute, just to have a bow frame. I'm going to try my best not to get in the middle. Okay, looks like if I just squeeze a little bit out, I'll be able to do it. I wonder if I can do it with the leaves. I'm going to have to do that after I mix the white resin. Okay, so now I have the white resin mix. I'm going to pour it on my brooches, and this one, and we're going to let them cure, and we're going to see what they look like. So while they're curing, I went ahead and I mixed up some more black resin. I just wanted to test to see if I could just put it in just the leaves here. I thought that'd be super cool. What ended up happening is I was able to do it a little bit poured out. All I did was I took a little rag and I wiped out the middle, so there wasn't any resin in the middle. All right, our castings are ready to be pulled out of the mold. Here's the first one. This is white. Do you notice the back? The pigment spread out and kind of gave it a really cool design in the back. I guess I don't have to paint the back. Anyway, you're going to see the difference here between the white resin in the background and the black resin in the background. You can see they both have a very unique look. They do put off kind of an antique vintage vibe, which I like, but if it's not enough, we can always add a little bit of paint. Let's check out this bow one. I'm really big on these bow mirrors. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Can't wait to put them in. So I'm going to let these two sit a little bit more because they're so delicate. I just want to make sure the resin is totally cured. So I have all my cameos pulled out of the molds. I use both light modeling paste and modeling paste. Now they both work, but I found the modeling paste to work better in the molds. It was easier to manipulate and to keep into the molds, but you can use either. I'm loving how they're all looking so different. Okay, so what I did was I Googled Cameo brooches, and I noticed that they had some in black and they had some with the orange, and the orange in the background came in all different colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try different backgrounds. So what here, I just using some liquid patina, painted it on. Now I'm going to wipe it back. Right now it looks a little messy, but once I put the pouring glaze or the shine on it, you're not even going to notice it's going to look like a vintage brooch. At least that's what my hope is. So the gold isn't gold enough for me on this one, so I'm going to mix a little bit of metal pigment and gold with a little pigment fix, and I'm just going to paint the outside of the frame. Now look at the difference from the right and the left. You can see the difference. This one looks a little bit more like gold leaf. So I'm going to finish up that brooch and just look at how beautiful that is. One more step on that one, then we'll be done. I'm just going to lightly use that same mixture of the gold pigment and pigment fix, and I'm just going to lightly brush it on top. You can see the depth here because this one was cast with the black resin, then the mica powder inside, and then the little gold mixture. Oh, and look at the here. I'm doing the same thing on this black frame. I'm just highlighting a little bit with this brighter gold. That bow is beautiful. That's probably my favorite one out of these. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Now this one was cast with the white, but not as much depth as the one with the black, but it's still pretty. So on this one I'm testing, I'm just using a little bit of the Umbra antique paste, and I'm just kind of squishing around, trying to make it uneven, because when you look at the old brooches, they're made and they have all these little different shades. I'm going to have to look up exactly what kind of stone it was made out of, just because I just don't know. I've never really done any research on cameos, but I'm going to find out, and by the end of this video, I will let you know. Though my audience is pretty smart, you probably already know yourselves. Anyway, I'm going to glue this one on here. This one is absolutely gorgeous. She just fits this one perfect. And just enough of that brown comes through the back, just giving it that aged appearance. Since we're playing, I thought I may as well go ahead and cast one of the cameos with some air dry clay. So I'm just going to lightly drag my finger around the side and just try to get her. I'm going to pop her out, and actually it comes out really easy and has such great detail. Look at that. looks very nice too. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this one on. Spread the glue around. I don't want it to come off. So this is just, there's 3 different ways, 3 different mediums you could use. You could also use decoupage paper too if you had any. So we have the light modeling paste, the modeling paste, and then you can do air dry clay. Now, this is amber varnish, so it dries with a kind of an orange hue. Next, we're going to put some pouring glaze on this one. And this one will make it not old and amber like the other one. This one's just going to make it glossy. Now, this one, I'm going to put some velvet powder in the background. I love it. So I'm just going to shake off the extra here. I don't have the steps for the velvet powder. Somehow I deleted the recording. But there are other recordings out there on how to use a velvet powder. I did not do it where I was going to put the girl's cameo, so you could see that little shine of where she goes. So I'm just putting some dots of glue on here because this one didn't cast as well and there are some holes, but I like it because it just shows, it looks like aged. Maybe it fell and some part of it chipped off, but look at that velvet powder with her. Isn't it just beautiful? Okay, so the next one, this is the one that I used the pouring glaze, and look, the pouring glaze dried, but the frame needs a little bit of something, so I'm just using some gold wax paste, and I'm just using my finger, and I'm going to drag it around the frame just to highlight just the details. All right, here's the rose one. Now this one needed something, so I used some copper wax paste. Now I'm going to use some gold wax paste around the outside, and I'm not really thrilled with it, so I'm going to add a little bit of brown umber to it just to give us more depth. Now it looks beautiful. Looking at all the brooches, they either have, one has velvet powder, 3 have antique gloss, and the other ones have just the pouring glaze. They all are beautiful. They're all different. Now I'm just going to affix some pins on the back. These came self-adhesive from Hobby Lobby, but you can get other ones and just hot glue them on. I don't know how well these will stay on, but we'll try it. You can also glue a bale to the back of it and then put it on a necklace. That'd be beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. I think these came out absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to wear one. And the orange stone is called carnelian.